What's up, guys? This is Alex, aka Fluka, coach of your Hamilton Rycats, and I'm here with my team builder for Week 3 against the New England Rowlets and JTN 2000. Um, as you can see, my team is on the left, his team is on the right, arranged by speed. Um, First thing I notice on his team is that he only has one Mon that breaks the 100 speed tier, which is Alakazam. Sorry, I forgot to mention his team: Alakazam, Haxorus, Toxicroak, Magmortar, Mamoswine, Mandibuzz, Blastoise, Tapu Bulu, Mega Ampharos, Spiritomb, and Escavalier. So as I said, nothing breaks 100 but Alakazam. Haxorus is close at 97, but I have a lot of things that outspeed that. So I can bring some things more effectively, or more offensively than I normally would, because I don't have to run as much speed, which is a nice little boost. He's got the Tapu Bulu, which is scary, but it also makes it a little safer for Mega Aggron because of Grassy Terrain's ability to reduce earthquake damage, which is nice since if he brings Tapu Bulu, I can use Tapu Fini sparingly because as you can see, I kind of have it as an offensive threat, but I don't need it as an offensive threat. It's just an extra one that I have, which is nice. But I can avoid using it and use it to keep Mega Aggron healthy or weaken damage to it while also keeping it healthy by getting the passive recovery. So that is a nice little boost for Mega Aggron. It kind of lets me give it a leftovers situationally, which is all right. Mamoswine is a really big problem for my team. Ice Ground kind of tears to my team, so I have to play around that smart. I gotta make sure I prepare for a Dragonette's Haxorus or a Choice Scarf Haxorus. Both are terrifying. Mandibuzz Blastoise is just annoying bulk. So is Mega Ampharos. And Escavalier can be powerful. His team would be a lot better if he had a Trick Room setter other than Alakazam, because you can only run Alakazam so slow. But especially that Escavalier, Mega Ampharos, Spiritomb problem, or combo, Trick Room team would work really well for this. If there was an item that made Trick Room last 8 turns, like it'd be a lot better. Because it's always nice to have a Trick Room setter that can take advantage of it as well, like a certain mon I won't mention. But anyway, I'm going to jump into my team for this week. So as you can see right up, like I said, we have an offensive Moana, rocking the Expert Belt for that little extra bit of power. Moonblast, Ice Beam, Surf, and HP Fire. I'm running enough speed to outspeed a Haxorus. Is that right? Yeah, an Adamant Haxorus. So an Adamant Haxorus without its Scarf or without its DD, I can outspeed. It's the fastest thing I can outspeed, and I got to make sure I hit it. So unfortunately, I do have to run almost maxed speed, but it allows me to put a little more in, like 4 in each of my defenses, so I didn't have to make it that choice, which is nice. As you can see from my coverage, Moonblast, anything's going to chunk Alakazam because it's so frail. Moonblast handles Haxorus. I got the HP Fire is my kind of move on this for Toxicroak. Obviously, if Toxicroak's in, I'll just switch, and I do have to watch out for Surf because it could have the dry skin. Moonblast is neutral, so I can still go for those safely, but HP Fire is also, just because of dry skin, also gets a slight boost. I think it's like by 1.2 or something, so it kind of gives that a power up. It still doesn't do a lot to it, but at least I'm not helpless against it. I do outspeed it unless it's Scarfed. I resist Sucker Punch, and Sucker Punch isn't Stab. And that HP Fire, if it's already gotten weakened, if it's already switched in on rocks a few times, I can actually have a chance of taking it out. So, Magmortar, obviously Surf. Mamoswine is Surf. Mandibuzz is Moonblast. Blastoise, I can't really touch, but Moonblast is still going to do some damage to it. Ice Beams for Tapu Bulu. Ice Beam and Moonblast for the Ampharos. Moonblast and HP Fire, since Escavalier would be a good switch in, and Assault Vested Escavalier would be a good switch into this thing. That's also why I had to make sure I had HP Fire on there. Even with an Assault Vest, I think HP Fire does like 38 to 43%, something like that, which is enough. Again, if it's switching in, if it's already taken prior damage, it is really slow, so if I get one off and then I can get another one off, like even if it's Assault Vested, I'm going to pretty much do like 80% to it. So That's that. Next up, we have Ironmonger, our Mega Aggron, running fully physically defensive this week. Ironhead, Earthquake, Fire Punch, and Stealth Rock. Um, Stealth Rock, he has the Mamoswine, which could run Focus Slash if it's like an offensive lead. But in that case, it probably Stealth Rock won't help that much. But it's also got the Mandibuzz, good switch in. And the Magmortar, which can't be switching in as a lot. So anytime I see like offensive threats that take a lot of damage to Stealth Rocks, I always make sure I throw that on there. Also, just for switching. With this physical investment, it's actually surprising, but like I can take hits from pretty much everything on his team. The thing that's hitting me hardest on the physical side, which is all I'm going to leave it in. I'm not going to leave it in on a Flamethrower from Amazon. I have things to take that. Or sorry, from a Magmortar. Earthquake from a Mamoswine. A wall-breaking Mamoswine does like, I think max 44%. Unless they're running banned. Actually, I think that might be banded damage. Mega Aggron takes everything. Drain Punch from Toxicroak will hurt, but it's still more than a 3-hit KO. I think it's a 4-hit KO. And with Earthquake, I can take out a Toxicroak. Again, I can't let it take a bunch of physical hits in a row, but especially if I'm going to be playing sparingly with it, he's not going to bring too many physical threats. It's only going to be 2, maybe 3. So I only needed to take out 2 or 3, so I can take a couple hits. I got pretty good coverage with this moveset, so the Ironhead is going to pretty much kill Alakazam. Ironhead is going to be my go-to for Haxorus, but Earthquake from Haxorus still doesn't do a lot, and I can deal like 60% with an Ironhead. So if I can get them, if they have any switch-in damage, which is also why I'm running Stealth Rock. As I said, if they've switched in a couple times, if they've taken even passive damage from one of my other mons, Aggron can live a hit and kill it without any investment, and it can take a bunch of hits because of his defense. It's amazing. I got the Earthquake for the Magmortar, Ironhead for the Mamoswine. Ironhead kind of handles Mandibuzz. I can't really touch Blastoise, but I won't leave it in against that. Tapu Bulu, I can take a superpower from a Tapu Bulu. It does like 36%, and then I can use Ironhead on it and kill it. Ampharos, Earthquake, Spiritomb, Ironhead, I guess, Escavalier, Fire Punch. And Fire Punch also does extra damage to Toxicroak. So I have ways to take his physical hits, Haxorus, Toxicroak, Mamoswine, Tapu Bulu, and then kill in return with one of my moves. So that's my Mega Aggron this week. Next up we have Spadef, Shaman, Leftovers, Natural Cure, Seed Flare, Earth Power, Dazzling Gleam, and Synthesis. Now, I wanted to run Assault Vest just so because, as you can see, he one of his big offensive special attackers is Magmar, and Flamethrower from a Magmar does mess this thing up. I do have mons that can take it. I can switch a Moana to a Magmortar. Air Canada resists it, Bacon resists it. So I do have other answers for that, but other than that, I take a lot of his special threats. I can take on Alakazam decently, hit it with a Seed Flare, that's going to do a lot. I got the Earth Power for the Toxicroak, Haxorus, Dazzling Gleam, Magmortar, Earth Power, Mamoswine, Seed Flare will kind of hurt it. Blastoise, Seed Flare, Tapu Bulu. I don't have anything for Tapu Bulu, but I won't leave it in on Tapu Bulu. Mega Ampharos, I have the Earth Power. Spiritomb, I have Dazzling Gleam, and Escavalier, I have Earth Power, even though that's neutral and not stab. So I can take some special hits. I can take pretty much anything from Blastoise, Magmortar. I can take anything but a Flamethrower. So if he's scarfed into like Thunderbolt, say he was attacking Moana there or something, I can bring this in and he's gonna have to switch. Alakazam, I can do decent well. Again, I wanted to run the Assault Vest, but I really wanted to keep Synthesis because I'm going to have to rely on this to take a lot of hits. A lot of his fat walls are especially defensive, and I could have like Blastoise, for instance, and I need to be able to heal up. I need to keep this thing healthy because it's going to have to take 1 or 2 hits for me, and then take 1 or 2 hits on the next thing. It's nice to have Natural Cure so you can't Toxic me or anything like that. I can take Scald Burns, I can switch in on stuff like that. Anyway, next up we have Latias. rocking Dragon Pulse, Psyshock, Thunderbolt, and Ice Beam. I'm running enough speed. I'm running 173 to outspeed a modest Alakazam, fastest thing I can outspeed without a Scarf. Again, I have to run almost max speed to hit a kind of obscure speed level, but ever since I underestimated the Scarf Pelipper, I want to make sure I outspeed everything I possibly can, and know what can outspeed me. So it's nice to know that if he does go with a modest Alakazam, I outspeed it by 1. I know that. If maybe he's running a Calm Mind variant or something like that, and he doesn't want, I don't know, but I can outspeed that. I can outspeed everything else that isn't Scarfed, and some things that are. I'm rocking the Habanberry in case of Haxorus. If there's a Scarf Haxorus or a Dragon Dance Haxorus that is threatening to late game sweep, I can take, if I keep this thing moderately healthy, I can take an Outrage with the Habanberry at this investment, and kill with the Dragon Pulse. Now, if it's a +1, I think I have to be at full. If it's not at +1, or if it's Scarf, and especially if he doesn't want to go for Outrage, because I do have the Moana, maybe he'll only bring Dragon Claw, I can take one of those and then get the revenge kill with the Dragon Pulse. Also, if it's looking like it's really threatening and I still have Moana around, I can switch that in, sack it, get up the Misty Terrain, and then bring in Latias, so I get an extra resistance because Misty Terrain weakens Dragon moves, I believe. So I can get that extra little bulk to make sure that I can live one for Haxorus. This is my Haxorus insurance policy. I have to keep it safe. I have to clutch it until the end of the game. I need that Habanberry to help me out. Other than that, I'm running coverage to hit everything. Dragon Pulse hits Haxorus. Dragon Pulse is going to do a lot to Alakazam. I have the Psyshock for Toxicroak. Dragon Pulse is going to do a lot to Magmortar. Dragon Pulse again for Mamoswine. I do have to watch out for an Ice Shard, but this isn't my primary Mamoswine check. I have the Ice Beam and Thunderbolt for Mandibuzz, Thunderbolt for Blastoise, Ice Beam for Tapu Bulu, Ice Beam for Mega Ampharos. Dragon Pulse will do a lot to Spiritomb, and then I can't really touch a Scavalier. A Scavalier is something that I have to kind of make sure I take care of as quickly as possible as soon as I see it. I'm running Dragon Pulse over Draco Meteor this week because a lot of the Mons on his team, with this exact moveset, my answer to a lot of his Pokemon is Dragon Pulse. It's like my Dragon offensive stab is the best thing to go for against them because nothing resisted, so it's always a neutral hit, except for Tapu Bulu. Oh, and Steel types like the Scavalier. But it's just a decent stab to go for. And because I'm going to be going for it over and over again, like I'm going to bring this thing again against Haxorus, I have to go for my Dragon move to kill it. And then once I've killed it, something else comes in, and I have to be able to kill that as well. I can't switch it out because I'll probably have already taken. If I'm using this thing, I'll already have taken a big chunk, even with Misty Terrain, Habanberry, of health. I won't have a lot left. So if there's hazards or if something else happens, if somehow I catch a Scald Burn or something from something, I won't be able to live a lot. So I can't switch out and then switch back in into all these hazards or to another move. It'll pretty much be Deathfire at that point. So I need to be able to stay. I can't afford the drops. And I need to run Thunderbolt and Ice Beam because like Mandibuzz and Blastoise are the walls. I need to make sure I hit them. I can't just bring one. I can't bring just Thunderbolt because of Mamoswine. I want to be careful. I don't want to let Mamoswine get anything. I get a free switch in. I can't let Mamoswine get a free switch in. So I kind of have to be careful with Thunderbolt, but I need Thunderbolt for Blastoise. So I'm not really sure what other move I could run. Like, explaining it out loud right now, I'm thinking like there are other coverage moves I could run. Too many things resist Energy Ball for me to think it's a good wish. I could ditch Psyshock and go for the Healing Wish, and that would allow me to keep Aggron healthy. It could be my last-ditch effort with Aggron. That actually might be an idea. Coming soon. We'll see. But anyway, we're going to move on to Bacon. I'm finally bringing Embor. I really like Embor. It's my favorite 5th gen starter. Um, I actually found out that Sawk has a higher attack stat than Embor, and Sawk actually can do what Embor does, but I'm bringing Embor just to change it up because I was looking at my team. I'm bringing a lot of the same mods. I'm trying to make sure I work everything in once as soon as possible because you want to be able to use everything on your team, and you want to be more unpredictable with that. You want to be able to learn how to use all your mods effectively, and I haven't been able to work in Nidoqueen or Braviary. I'm looking at trade to see if that's a possibility to get something I want. Um, but for now, I'm still going to keep trying to work them into the team. So I worked Embor in this week. We're rocking Flare Blitz, Head Smash, Earthquake, and Wild Charge. Choice Scarf, Reckless. So Reckless is going to boost all of our moves, barring Earthquake. Keeping Earthquake around, though, because of Toxicroak, Flare Blitz is going to do a lot. But, Earthquake is a nice, decent move to spam, and it doesn't give me recoil. So I can still get off a major hit. If anything's weakened, Earthquake from this thing is going to kill it. And if it's a viable move, then I don't have to take the recoil and I can keep this thing alive longer. Running max speed with this speed investment. Where is this here? Jolly max speed, I hit 192, which is what I need to hit to outspeed Alakazam. This thing will outspeed a timid Alakazam. Anything on his team that isn't Scarfed is taking a hit from this thing. And this is my revenge killer. If I can get this in, I can kill something. Or if I make a smart prediction, if I predict a double and I can just switch this in for free, everything on this team is taking hit. Flare Blitz is going to kill an Alakazam. Head Smash will do a ton of damage to Haxorus. Earthquake and Flare Blitz will kill Toxicroak. Earthquake and Head Smash for Magmortar. Earthquake and Head Smash, or Flare Blitz and Head Smash for Mamoswine. Head Smash is better though because it's the thick cut. Wild Charge for Blastoise, which I need to make sure I bring Wild Charge for Blastoise. It's not my best Blastoise counter, but I can't let Blastoise just come in. If I predict Blastoise to come in, I can just fire off a Wild Charge. It will force him to switch, and then I can switch this thing out to deal with the next threat. Tapu Bulu, I have the Flare Blitz. Mega Ampharos, you have the Earthquake. Spiritomb, a Flare Blitz is doing a lot to it. Stab Flare Blitz from this thing with the Reckless boost is hurting something. And Escavalier, it's just going to kill it. So I'm bringing this thing just to try it out. I'm actually not super confident in how it performs. In my few practice matches I've had, it really hasn't done what I wanted it to do, but I'm going to try and make it work this week. And then last up, we have Egret. Didn't get any play last week, even though it was on our team, never hit the field. I'm bringing this just because I want to. Again, Icicle Crash, Low Kick, Knockoff, Poison Jab with the Focus Sash. Focus Sash is because I can't outspeed Alakazam no matter what I do, and I can't outspeed Haxorus if it has any kind of boost. Two really fast things that I can deal with pretty well. I have the Icicle Crash and the Knockoff. I don't need the boost to kill them with those moves. And I outspeed everything else. I outspeed the Toxicroak, even though Toxicroak I wouldn't stay in on. I wouldn't bring this out really until Toxicroak was gone, or if I can at least get a knockoff on it if I know it has to switch in. Magmortar, again, knockoff is going to do a lot. Mamoswine, I have the Low Kick. Manabuzz, I have the Icicle Crash, Low Kick for Blastoise, Icicle Crash for Tapu Bulu, and Poison Jab. Mega Ampharos, I have the Icicle Crash. Spiritomb, I have Low Kick, and I have Knockoff, which is Stab and Neutral. And then I don't really have anything for Escavalier, which is a common theme on this team, so I have to make sure I kill Escavalier as soon as possible. Running enough speed to outspeed a Jolly Haxorus without any boosts. The rest is dumped into my health. And again, Focus Sash just to make sure that I don't just get one hit KO'd. I might just switch to the Life Orb, because I don't really like Focus Sash, especially I don't have hazard removal on this team, so if he manages to get up rocks with Mamoswine, Focus Sash isn't really any use to me. And that risk, just making its item useless, is kind of tempting for me to switch, but it is good to know that I can live anything from Haxorus or Alakazam. If I play smart with this thing, I can keep it in my pocket. It can be another revenge killer if Embor is weakened and I don't think it has certain mons on his team that I don't want to switch in on yet. So we're gonna try it out this week. That's the team. I've been rambling. I'm sorry. let me know what you think in the comments below, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.